In this video, we're going to go over doing your groundwork with another human pretending to be your horse. This can be really beneficial for you. Your horse will give you, this horse will give you feedback that your other horse won't. And the other thing is that sometimes it'll save your horse while you're learning and looking to get better and better at this groundwork. My horse today might give me some feedback and can give me some verbal feedback on how I'm doing, where your horse isn't going to be able to do that. But you can look for signs in your horse to see that your horse is understanding. So a couple things we're going to go over on this. I'm going to be looking to make sure my horse is on two tracks, not drifting to the outside. I'm going to be fixing with the tail end of my lead rope if I need to. I want you to observe that if I don't need to drive my horse at all, if I don't need this supporting hand, my right hand when my left is leading, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to have it up here just in case I need it. I don't want my horse dull to my hand. So if I were to bring it up here like this, it would be a warning to my horse, I'm about to ask you for a little more and I'm not feeling it from you. So you're going to see this and then I'm going to swing my rope before you feel it. Now another thing I want to do with my horse, my human horse, I want their hands out in front so that when their head is moved, this will be their head, when their head is moved to left or right, it's going to affect their entire body. Where if you just have the person hang onto the rope with one hand, well, they can move that arm without moving their feet. And the horse is a little more connected to their feet through the end of their nose where your halter and lead rope come off of. So I'm going to have my horse halter herself here. She's pretty good at that. And hang on to that rope. You'd like your human horse partner to be hanging on pretty tight because there may come times when you need to bump pretty hard. Now remember too, in fixing your horse, and what I mean by fixing in this case, if your horse were to let that lead rope get too tight, and that is your horse's job to keep the lead rope slack. If I were to just pull on that lead, if you could feel her, she's resisting. She's pulling against me. Okay, so I had to pull her all the way through, and that actually creates a brace. So if I take a hold and pull, that was pretty good considering I just kind of tugged. That's probably not what I wanted there. I wanted to have more of a resistance. So you can talk to your horse about this too. But typically your horse, if you just gradually pulled and put more pressure on, they're just going to brace more and more and more. They're not going to give to you. They're just going to hang on there. So if I were to come in here with a brace like that, I might suggest that my horse give to me here by saying, hey, this lead rope is about to get tight. And if they don't, I would bump. But I wouldn't make it a tug. I wouldn't make it a pull. It would be a bump. So that my horse becomes more aware. When I suggest with my body language and my hand here, I'm saying, hey, I'm about to bump you. And I get a little change. You notice a little change? And I rewarded that. So we talk about that a lot. I'll come in here, say, I need you over here. And I'd release. Again, the opposite. If she did not respond, and I came in here, and I was even that tight, I'd say, hey, I need you over here. And I'd put a little snap, a little bump in there. No hard feelings, but I want to create a softness and a lightness where she has a play in that. She has something to say about that. I pick up, no different than if I were riding my horse and I picked up on my reins. I'd like my horse to reach for me, not because I had to bump or pull or tug, but because she's willing and paying attention to what it is I want. She will learn to take this job on her own because of my release, my reward, my appreciation of her efforts here. It doesn't mean she always knows what I want, but I'll help her search for what it is I want. All right. Now I mentioned my supporting hand or my driving hand over here would be my right. And if I had to bring my hand up, if I was not getting my horse to respond by simply opening up my energy, opening up this area, this space for her to go into, if she didn't respond to that, I'd say, hey, come on, here, I need you to move forward. Then I'd swing my rope until I got a change. I would swing my rope and she would probably run into it with much the same life that she ran into this lead rope driving. So in other words, I'm not going to sit here and beg her to go by swinging, but I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, hey, let's go. I'm going to swing, and if she didn't go, I'd advance towards her. The moment she moved, I would release. This will cause her to be taking her job more seriously, paying attention to me, and together we make a pretty good team. So, all that in preparation, we're going to do a lead by, or a circle here, and I'm going to ask my horse to move off. I'm going to be behind her shoulder. In other words, I'm not going to be in front pulling my horse forward. We never want to do that. But I'll open up and send my horse. So I'm going to prepare now. I'm going to open up here, expecting her to move into that space. Notice I'm walking on a small circle here. I don't just have my feet stopped, having my horse mindlessly travel around a circle around me. What I'm doing, my feet are facing forward, her feet are facing forward, and I'm supporting this by leading with my leading rein here. If I'd like to have a little more life, I'll come in and I'll say, let's move. I might pick my life up a little bit. I don't want to be over animated in this myself, but if that doesn't work, I'll come in here with the tail end of my lead and say, hey, I need you to move out. I get a little change and I release. Now I'm looking for her to be on her two tracks as well. I don't want to have her drifting out away. There she drifted out away a bit, so she ran into a little bump. I'm trying to keep this circle the way I'd like it to be here. A nice circle. If I were to advance towards my horse, I would expect the circle to get larger, and she would step to the side. Then I could come back to a new true track, a little bit larger. Now notice as she goes out here, this lead rope is starting to get a little bit tight. So if that were to continue to happen, you can go ahead and keep that a little tighter. If that were to continue to happen, again, we talked about the bump. I'd say, hey, I need you in here. If she didn't respond, I might put a little bump in there. So now I'm going to work my horse. She has an advantage understanding English pretty well. So I'm just going to be quiet here for a moment and see if we can do a little communicating without my voice. Notice the little changes. Let's go out a little bit. We'll just open up a little bit here. We don't want to get out of the frame for you guys. Okay, so I killed my energy and stopped. It took her quite a while to figure that out. As your horses are better and more familiar with this, as soon as you kill your energy, they're going to find a place to stop pretty quick. So I'm going to try this a little more. Try this again. I'll open up. Ask her to move out. Okay, well, we haven't done everything here, but this is a real fun exercise. And again, it's one you can do in the house or in the garage or in the barn, and something that sometimes we do in the wintertime. So it's really, you'll find it really beneficial. And there are different things you can do with this exercise, human on human. Just have fun with this.